Hey, what's up everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with Plugin Boutique, and I've got a quick video tutorial for you for Chord Prism. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Strum, Repeat, Velocity, and Step Sequencer features built into the Chord Generator. Now, some of these are also baked into the Smart Scale Multi-Arp section as well, and they work the same way, so we're just going to focus on the chords right now so we can grasp the core ideas here. Strum is essentially playing the keys of the chord. So if I turn that on up, for example, and then turn it on something like 1/8 so we can really hear it, and then press the key on my keyboard, you can see that it's walking up that chord. I can make it happen quicker and really fast or really slow. And we can also go down, alternate, and random as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Now repeat works something like that. If I turn it on, and let's put it on 1/8, and go ahead and play the MIDI clip I have inside of my DAW, you'll hear that it's repeating over 1/8. So it's giving me a note triggered over the 1/8 notes. The gate is how long each one of those triggers is held. So I'm gonna go ahead again and press play. Okay, and when that is happening, we can turn on velocity, which is going to give us sort of a groove of velocity hits. So if I turn it on something like dance hall, once I have this selected and press play, it's giving me a groove set out by velocity sensitivity. And right now I want to point out that this depends on whatever instrument you're using. Some instruments like Massive, for example, if you go to the init patch, if you go to the initial patch, you have to program in velocity sensitivity. So if you haven't done that, this might not work as it's supposed to. So just make sure you're using the right instrument with the right settings. Now peak is the max value or the max velocity, or you can imagine how hard someone hits the keys, and 127 is the max. But I can make that a softer performance by just turning down the peak. Now I can also set the range. The range is how far below the peak the velocity can go. So if I'm up here around 106, I can go 30 values below 106 with the range inside of the velocity here. So right now I've almost got like 2 or 3 hits happening. If I pull this range down, we're actually gonna hear a lot more hits. You see that? And we have a number of different presets here. We've got breakbeat, dancehall, house, for example. And so on. Now, we can also, instead of using velocity, instead of using repeat, we can also use the step sequencer. If I turn that on, and now we can make our own patterns or whatever kind of pattern we want. And sustain is actually going to sustain these notes. So you can see if I trigger this one and these two are off, it's actually going to sustain that triggered one until here. And that depends on the gate as well. If I have the gate way up, it's really going to push it all the way close to the end here. So 100 is going to be a full step here. So if I'm at 90, the gate will happen. It will play 1, 2, and then 90% of 3. And if I'm at 50, it'll play 1, 2, and 50% of 3. And these ones that are just 1, it's going to play 50% of each of those. So those are 3 or 4, if you count velocity, key ways of getting a more lively performance, again, with just one press of a key inside of Chord Prism. I hope that makes sense. I hope you learned something. I'm Joshua Casper here for Plugin Boutique. Click the link in the video description to find out more about Chord Prism. It's available now, and I'll see you in the next video.